The next morning, the girls are still captivated by Muscle Mommy's new Dragon Slayer title, with the witch even bringing the hoe that killed the dragon as a souvenir. As they admire her achievement, Bali steps outside, announcing she's heading into the forest to slay more monsters. The girls are impressed by her persistence, though her strength hasn't grown much. Despite this, Bali continues her daily training, pretending not to care about her lack of progress. In truth, Bali is frustrated. She's upset about not obtaining the Dragon Slayer title, which could have elevated her family from commoners to nobles, a status they once held. As she broods, a man approaches, asking if she knows a couple living in the forest. Bali, suspicious of how unconcerned the man is with the monsters, cautiously asks if he's a friend of the husband or wife. When he replies, "Wife," Bali draws her sword, accusing him of being with the demon army and demanding to know why they're after Rise. The man insists he only wants to talk and asks Bali to deliver a message to Rise. He'd like to meet for tea and reminisce about old times. Though hesitant, Bali agrees to relay the message. Soon after, Theo and Rise appear, concerned. They sense the Demon King in the area, which terrifies Bali, fearing she'll be killed. Theo calms her, and they all return to the cottage. The next morning, Rise answers a knock at the door to find the Demon King, Gas. She demands to know what he wants, but Theo diffuses the tension, inviting him inside. Gaz wonders why Theo isn't afraid, given his power. As they sit down for tea, Rise refuses to rejoin the demon army, assuming Gaz is there for revenge. But Gaz surprises them by asking Theo to join his army instead. Theo declines, stating he wants no part in the war. Gaz explains the origin of the conflict. 500 years ago, a human from another world became the first demon king after seeing how demons were treated as second-class citizens. Though Gaz has no desire to conquer the world, he's fiercely protective of his people. His aura flares with anger, but Theo remains calm, refusing once again. Gaz, amused by Theo's resolve, promises to return and departs. Later, Bali faints from fear, and the next morning, she's shocked to find Gaz casually dining with Rise and Theo. Though scared, she eventually becomes used to his visits, though she often flees when he tries to talk to her. Meanwhile, the kingdom learns of Gaz's visits and assumes Theo is siding with the demons. The king, furious, plans to destroy Theo's home, but the princess suggests they talk to him first. The hero volunteers to handle it, promising to recruit Theo or eliminate him if necessary. The next morning, the kingdom's army surrounds Theo's house. The hero gives Theo two choices: join the humans or be labeled a traitor. Theo refuses to take sides, and despite the girls defending him, the hero threatens them all. Theo, unfazed, uses his teleportation magic to relocate his house and fields to a new location, leaving the army stunned. Back in the kingdom, the Demon King, enraged by the humans' actions, prepares his army for war. Meanwhile, Theo and his group, unaware of the looming conflict, celebrate their successful move with a feast. The kingdom is in chaos as the news of an imminent demon attack reaches the king. He demands updates from his ministers, who inform him that the demon army has already infiltrated the northern forests and is advancing. When he asks about the hero, they reveal that the hero fled in fear upon seeing the Demon King. Frustrated and out of options, the king orders the mages to prepare a massive purification spell that could wipe out the demons in the forest. On the other side, the Demon King watches the destruction his army is causing, but he decides to withdraw his troops from the forest after hearing reports that the kingdom's mages might be preparing a powerful attack. He predicts the purification spell, and knowing its potential harm to his forces, he wants to minimize losses. Back in the kingdom, the mages gather in the palace to cast their spell. The head wizard leads the chant, and a giant magic circle appears over the kingdom, purifying the area and pushing the demons back. Meanwhile, Theo and his group are unaware of these events. Theo returns home from a nearby town, where he has been trying to establish business contacts but has yet to succeed. During lunch, they discuss ways to contribute financially. Muscle Mommy suggests selling crops from the fields, while the redhead archer talks about her dream of breeding horses. However, the wizard and Bali feel down as they don't have skills to contribute. The next day, the kingdom's princess visits the royal hospital, where her ministers assure her the demon army has been pushed back. However, she reminds them that the spell drained the mages, including the king, leaving them powerless for months. With the king out of commission, she declares herself in charge and strips the cowardly hero of his title. When the hero returns to the kingdom, he is humiliated and thrown out. Elsewhere, Theo and Rise are enjoying a day in town, thanks to the girls convincing them to go on a date. They roam the market, and Theo decides to buy Rise a gift to show his appreciation. She picks out a beautiful blue brooch, which Theo puts on her, making her feel cherished. Back at the castle, the disgraced hero sneaks into the royal treasury, searching for a magical artifact to regain his power and status. He stumbles upon a hidden chamber where a mysterious voice guides him to a sword. As he pulls it out, a powerful djinn appears, offering to grant him any wish. Desperate, the hero wishes to kill Theo, believing that would restore his hero status. Meanwhile, the princess consults an oracle about how to defeat the Demon King. The oracle warns that someone has made a deadly wish to the djinn, placing magical collars on many people in the hall, a sign of a dangerous deal. The princess realizes that Theo, the true hero, is the only one who can help them now. Unaware of this, Theo is busy selling goods in town when the djinn, Haya, appears, sent by the hero's wish to kill him. She strikes, but Rise jumps in to protect Theo, taking a fatal blow. Theo desperately tries to heal her, but the wound is too severe. The djinn launches more attacks, but Theo's defenses are too strong. As Rise lies dying, Theo is consumed with grief and rage, vowing to destroy the djinn for taking away the one person he loves most. With a surge of anger and determination, Theo prepares to fight the djinn, ready to unleash his full power and avenge Rise's death. Theo, filled with rage, confronts the djinn Haya for attacking his beloved Rise. He casts a rare time reversal spell, healing Rise's wounds and bringing her back to life. Haya is shocked that a human could use such powerful magic, and before she can question him, Theo punches her to the ground, breaking her nose. Enraged, Haya threatens him, but Theo, overcome with grief, stomps her into the ground. She casts a defensive barrier, but Theo shatters it effortlessly, lifting her by the head and slamming her into the wall, his strength far beyond anything she expected. Meanwhile, Rise awakens in a crater, uninjured. Bali explains that Theo saved her, and Rise watches in shock as her usually gentle husband brutally beats Haya. At first, she's proud of him for defending her, but soon remembers how he once told her he hated violence. Theo, driven by rage, lifts Haya by the neck, ready to kill her. She pleads for mercy, but Theo doesn't stop until Rise rushes to him, begging him to let her go. Her voice snaps him back to reality, and he releases Haya. Theo, relieved that Rise is safe, hugs her tightly. As they embrace, the princess and her party are teleported to the village, and the magical collars on their necks vanish. Meanwhile, in the castle, the hero mourns that Haya failed to kill Theo. A trapped entity is released, possessing the hero's servant and turning the hero into a magical monster bent on destroying the royal family. Back in the village, Theo heals Haya, who is terrified and confused. She asks why he would help her, and Theo replies that since Rise is fine, he holds no grudge. Bali asks what to do with Haya, and Theo suggests sealing her away again, but reveals he knows the hero ordered the attack. Haya, shocked that Theo can read minds, listens as Rise suggests that Haya should become Theo's servant. Theo is hesitant, but Rise insists it's the best way to ensure Haya isn't misused again, and having a djinn on their side would make them stronger. Haya, surprised by Theo's kindness, agrees to serve him, vowing to never harm anyone again. That night, Theo reassures a worried Rise that he will never return to his old world and asks her to marry him. She happily agrees, but their moment is interrupted when Haya peeks in. After some playful banter, the group settles in, preparing for their next adventure.